Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, May 20th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. How's that old Game of Thrones quote go again? Lions don't concern themselves with the business of sheep? But my question is, when should the sheep start concerning themselves about the business of lions? The reason I ask is because Kamal Elgargni is officially back on the hunt. Last week, Kamal's camp released word that he had officially started his Olympia prep, which means the former Arnold Classic champ should be firing on all cylinders at some point here over the next month or so. Personally, I think Kamal is one of the more underrated guys in the 212 division, but that doesn't mean you should sleep on this lion, because this dude is plenty dangerous once he starts to show his teeth. I'm a pretty huge car guy, and at some point in my life I would love to own a Porsche GT3 because those bad boys are some of the most insane pieces of machinery I've ever laid eyes on. But until I can figure out how to squeeze my 3 kids into the trunk, I'll just have to get my German engineering fix from my old buddy Lukas Wyler. The big man released a training clip over the weekend that showed him looking leaner than I've ever seen him in quite some time, which tells me he probably has plans to jump on stage sometime soon. Lukas is one of those guys who sneaks up on people because they always seem to forget how complete he is from front to back. So I'd keep an eye out for him to drop in and make some noise somewhere over the next month or two. We'll recap the action from another awesome weekend at the New York Pro on Wednesday, but for now, hopefully these behind the scenes photos from Egard-John Augustin, aka Bionic Body, will hold you over for the time being. Yesterday, Team Augustin released some pretty cool behind the scenes photos detailing their road to the season debut, where we see the evolution of one of the truly cool stories in the sport continuing to do what he does best. All things considered, Augustin has to be one of my new favorite athletes to follow because he's just an absolute beast on so many levels. And hopefully we get to see more of him soon because I think stories like his are good for bodybuilding. I'm 7 weeks out from the battle in the desert, and I plan to bring it. That is a direct quote from Wendy Fortino on what she's got slated for her next event of the season. And as usual, the longtime figure vet has got her season started off strong by stringing together a couple of really nice efforts. But if there's anything we've learned about Wendy over the years, it's that she has a tendency to get better and better the more she competes. So if she starts to get it going right now, she'll be ready and firing on all cylinders by the time the Olympia arrives. And finally, if you ever want to feel like you could run through a brick wall, do yourself a favor and listen to the best of David Goggins on YouTube. But if you want to walk around looking like an actual brick wall, do yourself another favor. Start doing everything that Regan Grimes does. Bright and early this morning, Team Grimes released a new clip in celebration of International Chest Day, where we see the third-year star blasting his way through an intense-looking triple drop set. Regan's been looking pretty thick lately, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just crazy to see how this guy can change his body with all these different looks. And I'm sure when he decides to drop in on the contest season, he'll have another new wrinkle to his game that no one even saw coming. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.